Good evening. I'm very pleased to be able to present the Europcar Jewish Women in Leadership Award for the fourth consecutive year. And we are very grateful to the Jewish Report and to Absa for affording us this opportunity. I ask you to please excuse my bias, but I feel this award is a particularly special one as we are exposed to and learn about an incredible set of individuals who have achieved remarkable things in business, social projects, professions, sport, and in culture. It genuinely is a very special privilege to be able to be involved in this process, and quite humbling, moving, and certainly is inspirational. What the candidates have achieved in their own right is exceptional, and if you consider some of the unique challenges that they've had to overcome in order to do so, their achievements are even more outstanding. When our then CEO, Dawn Nathan-Jones, implemented the award, part of the purpose was to recognize the unique challenges, prejudices, and obstacles that women have to overcome. Gender bias is regretfully still a very real blight on our society, and it is imperative that we recognize and address this in all its forms. There are a number of examples of our candidates in this year and in preceding years of being pioneers in their fields and opening doors to those who follow. Some openly shared that part of their motivation was that somebody had told them that they could not do it, both overtly and subtly. Our own organization is partly what it is today because in a previous role, Carol Scott, who founded our business, was told that she could not have a role because she was a woman. We hope that by highlighting the achievements of the nominees, the award will inspire others to see what is possible and that women are limited only by their imagination. Tonight's winner is a fine example of this, impressive as she is inspiring, and we have no doubt that she will be an outstanding role model. Again this year we are presented with a phenomenal list of nominees whose achievements are amazing. In many instances, the nominees were unknown to us before their evaluations, even though 3/5 of our judging panel are extensively networked in the Jewish community. They are unsung heroes, often not realizing themselves the impact that they have. And we are delighted that this award creates a platform where their stories, learning, passion, compassion, drive, discipline, tenacity can be shared and celebrated. I'm sure you can imagine the difficulty in choosing a winner from such a remarkable group, and I'd like to extend my thanks to Dorian Wheel, Taryn Marcus, Joanna McCockey, and Dawn Nathan-Jones, who generously gave their time and diligently applied themselves to the task. I'd also like to take the opportunity to once again congratulate the finalists and thank them for so bravely, humbly, and openly sharing with us. You are all truly inspirational. Thank you.
In the category, the Europcar Women in Leadership Award, there were 55 nominees. The finalists are...
For me, leadership in photography is firstly about ideas. Secondly, it's about working with people, understanding who they are to get the best from them. And my leadership skill comes with having to work with someone, for example, in an informal settlement to someone in a business situation. And therefore, for me, what's very important is to bring the best aspect out of people so that my words that I want to express and the photography speaks to that.
We run a program called the Youth Citizens Action Program, and we run this in schools across the country. We've actually got 750 schools that took part this year, which is our 9th year of operation. So as a leader, I find that it's important to be very in touch with your partners, your volunteers, your beneficiaries, everyone that you deal with. And I think having the benefit of being a woman is that I have that empathy and the collaboration style. Having girls in the program is very empowering for them so they can become leaders and become CEOs like me one day.
I'm Heidi Brouwer, Chief Marketing Officer at Halard. What I am is a mama at home and a brand mama at work, and those two things come together to make a different kind of leader, and that's a woman leader. So I grow human beings at home, I grow brands at work, and I hope that the people that I work with are always better off because of the time that we've had together, because that's what women do, we grow other people.
My family started Fagels in Yeovil back in 1968, and for the last 50 years we've been building relationships and creating memories by serving good quality kosher food. Good food makes people happy, and happy people make the world better. So the exciting part for me about being part of this Power Core team is working with both men and women, and I've learned that the man is the head and the woman is the neck, and the head cannot move without the neck. So it's a lot of fun at Fagels being the neck to see how the head moves.
So my name is Danela Elisov. I'm a psychiatrist in private practice, and I'm also a professional mixed martial arts athlete. I'm currently signed with EFC. One thing that I've learned, I think, is it's important to understand that impossible is just something that you've created for yourself and that society has created for you. But as a woman, I think it's important that we're not limited by society's constructs, and that I think if I had a message for other women would be just to go for what you'd like to do. Don't listen to what other people are telling you. If people are telling you things are impossible, that's kind of up to you to decide.
My name is Alice Friedman. I am the managing director of an organization called Yad Aharon and Michael. We are Johannesburg's independent and leading Jewish food fund. As a leader, I believe in leading by example. I allow my staff to use the initiative in order to reach their maximum potential. I have a great capacity for love and understanding, and I'm not judgmental, which I believe are all essential ingredients in leading an organization like Yad Aharon.
I'm the youngest female CEO of all the biggest real estate brands in South Africa. And I think it gives me the privilege to attack the industry in a different way with a high EQ, emotional quotient. My leadership style, I'm very diplomatic and transparent. I believe that we work long hours and it's important to have fun. So I consider myself a fun-tropreneur. And at the same time, I don't micromanage. I believe in letting people shine and taking over their own projects so that they're more accountable. And that's the way we do business.
What started as a war to rescue my son from autism led the Star Academy to become a beacon of hope in a sea of despair. Now we are able to help many children around the country and in Africa shining a light on autism. I dream of a time when we can reach each parent whose child receives an autism diagnosis, generally accompanied with the words goodbye and good luck, and assure them that autism need not be a life sentence. Never give up hope. Great things take time.
My company is Creatrix. It is a branded storytelling agency. I've taken a gap in the market that very few people dared to tread, and I now have a team of beautiful, talented, young black professionals who can all get a job anywhere else in the industry, but they prefer to stay with Creatrix. What is special about me as an entrepreneur or as a businesswoman is that I really do walk the talk. I lead by example, and it seems to be paying off.
I am a founder member and the current director of Impilo. I have the privilege of working with children who are orphaned, vulnerable and abandoned in our country. These are children that don't have the possibility to grow up in a family. My leadership style is to work hard and to find solutions by building partnerships with all of the people that we have the privilege of working with. So I'm proud to be a woman working in an NGO, and I believe that I'm able to speak for the children who don't have a voice.
Hi, my name is Bonita Maisfeld. I am the founding member and the chair of the board of Lawyers Against Abuse. My philosophy on the work I do and the leadership required in that sector is one of service. It is through service that we lead. And it is about the realization that reality is not stagnant. Reimagine the reality that you want to see and then create it. That has been the mantra of my work and the way in which I have tried to pursue social justice.
My name is Margaret Malka-Rawitz. I've been in the field of environmental consulting for 40 years, and I've played a pioneering leadership role in this field. But I took the environmental issues into a new level when I went to explore the Exodus route from the Bible. I was responsible for the national strategy, laws, and when I introduced environmental management into, and I've always seemed to be a woman amongst men, but I'm here to inspire women to do things that require their courage and move to new frontiers.
My name is Martine Schaffer, and I was the founding CEO of the Click Foundation and have just left to start up my own business called Good Gal. What I believe is special about my leadership as a woman is that my personal fulfillment and growth is based on enabling and empowering others. I believe in being tough, but being practical and understanding the scenario of where people come from. I think we live in a country with lots of challenges, and we can't just be focused on growing ourselves and not growing others.
As an advocate, when I started daydreaming about flavours in the appeal court, I knew it was time to turn Ulala Confectionery into a full-time business. We have grown from 1 employee in my kitchen to 24 breadwinners working in a magical little factory, each trained in the art of confectionery, and each committed and passionate about what they do. Our clients range from Woolworths and the Four Seasons in South Africa to Air France and the most charming little confectionery shop in all of Paris. Having won 34 Great Taste UK Gold Stars, we are proud and excited to be putting South Africa on the international artisan food map.
What is so exciting about it is that I'm the first woman to head King David Linksfield, and I guess in a world where it was often assumed that heads of schools were men, it has given me an opportunity to be in a Jewish day school and to be a woman and to lead. And I honestly believe that anybody who would want to take up this role, who have committed themselves to education, it's possible to get to any height. And I would encourage any woman who sees their future to pursue it and never to feel that they can't get there.
My name is Claudine Ullman, and I own a company called Jittery Citizens. We do improv comedy. What improv comedy is it's the ability to be funny on the spot. So for me as a leader, I really find it important to create a platform where all female comedians are getting a chance to express themselves and be who they want to be, and also go to work in a really safe environment. We have a lot of #MeToo things that have been happening. It's really important to me to create an environment where women are safe and can just be themselves, just be hilarious, and change the world through laughter.
20 years ago, I was in charge of bringing the biggest change management process for financial markets by having to eliminate physical paper, share certificates, into digital. So 3 years ago, I read Satoshi Nakamoto's paper that explains how the world has to change again because of the financial crisis failed us all. So once I read that, I realized that it was my time to now get involved with the biggest blockchain company in the world, Consensus, to actually bring about the new wave of absolute change and transformation for financial markets and absolutely every industry.
Super Troopers began in 2014. Connections made with people living on the streets, serving soup and sandwiches, became a community between homeless and home full, celebrating birthdays, providing clothes, toiletries, haircuts given by the troops. We thrive on creating safe spaces. Our dream is to create our own human hub and run social enterprises to enable us to employ our beneficiaries and help them reintegrate into society. We are all human, we all have a story, and together we are the change.
Hi, my name is Jodie Solomon. I'm a professional boxing manager and trainer. I began boxing in 1997, where female boxing was unheard of in South Africa. The only avenue I had to stay in the sport that I desperately loved was to become a manager, which I did in 2008. I was the first female manager in South Africa. As a result, I've managed to open the doors for many other women who have wanted to enter the boxing industry. It hasn't been an easy one. Men were not that accepting of me to begin with, and it was very difficult to get fighters to believe in me. I believe I have good leadership qualities because the fighters that I have worked and have trained, I have tended to bring out the best in them. I have given them a sense of self-belief and self-worth, and I have guided them to be good leaders themselves. For me, leadership means bringing out the best in other people and creating other leaders.
In the category Europe Car Women in Leadership Award, the winner is Benita Mayersfeld.
Very auspicious announcement in the context of that footage we've just seen. I certainly wouldn't have voted for me. I would have voted for every other one of those women. So a heartfelt gratitude and thank you. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and if she grows up to be anything like any of the other nominees, I know that my mothering and parenting would have been successful. So to all of you, I pay tribute. You heard in the clip I spoke about the power of creativity and imagination. And it's been a hallmark, I think, of our community, not only in democracy, but pre-democracy, where we could start to not only think about problems and not only empathize with those who are in pain and those who suffer, but also to creatively use our imagination and then to actualize that and change it. And there is no shortage of grief in our country. There is no shortage of pain in thinking about children at schools who fall into pit latrines and die. There's no shortage of understanding that we have some of the highest rates of violence against women in the world, that women are hurt and abused in their homes, that we have the greatest gap between rich and poor, not only geographically, but in our income in the world. But we also have the greatest power of imagination. We also have the greatest power of empathy and actualizing change. And if we never back down from the power of creation, empathy, and actualization, we can see that change, and we can become that change. And it's a great honor to be able to stand amongst people who I know are agents of change. And I salute all of you. Thank you very much.